What is up, good people? Crypto Prepper here, and it's been a minute since I've recorded a video. I think a week or two even. Today is Friday, February 6th, 2026, and yesterday we saw a gigantic liquidation in the market, and it really kind of scared people. If you're new, I'm sure it scared you or even a veteran. It's never fun. Um, and I wanted to talk about the progress of some of these bots, especially some of these older ones that I set up. So, like this ETH USD on Kraken example, you can see how the total P&L is down 19.13% with a bot profit at 8.6. So, what that means, what you're seeing here on the chart is it sold here, purchased, and there's no more lines to purchase. So this bot is basically just hodling that ETH until it gets back up to this range here where it's going to take profit and pay me and then start back fresh. So, and I decided not to close this one out, but I did close out an ETH and a Bitcoin bot that I had on Coinbase that had been out of range for quite a bit longer than even these. And I was listening to the blockchain backer. I listen to him every day whenever he puts out a video. And specifically, recently, he was talking about expecting something like this uh, to kind of finish out, in his words, to finish out the bear market. He's under the impression that we're in a bear market over the last 12 months. And, you know, I know that's contra um, a contrarian based on what most other people are thinking. But anyway, so what I did was I had closed out those bots that were out of range, and then I started some new ones. So the new ones I started actually the day before. So I was listening to him. He does a weekly markets in the morning video. He calls it on Wednesday morning, and so Wednesday afternoon, I had closed out those bots and then um, decided to cut them up into, instead of going with ETH and Bitcoin, I did them all in XRP, but I did different settings. So I staggered these settings. You'll see how this one is currently, well, got us protected until a buck 11. This one is down to only a buck 15. They've moved up a little bit because of this pump here. So you can see how all of these bots, that's pretty similar. What all these bots have done is they purchased all the way down yesterday. And then when we got that bump last night, a couple of them took profit. Then overnight, they all ended up taking profit and producing some bot profit straight into my USDC wallet. And then once they sell, they purchase right away, and then it sells again, purchases, sells again, purchases, sells again, purchases, and it consistently resets these lines. So this morning, before it had completed a couple more take profits, the lower lines were down towards a buck. So, and you can see these aren't small bots like, usually you can do these as small as 1,000, like we do talk about in the other videos, but this one is 2,500 bucks in this bot. So they're scalable up as much as you want, but you start them with at least 1,000. So anyway, the bots that I set up the day before the liquidation really did a good job of taking advantage of that, and churning out some nice profit already, and they're still rocking and rolling. So I don't feel any need to close out these bots that have a P&L down because, oh, well, this one, the grid bot is a little different. And I haven't really talked about setting up the grid bots. They have their pros and cons. The only reason I like them, that I still have a few, is that they will consistently produce as long as they don't fall out of range down on the downside. It'll end up trailing up on the upside. But this actually produces a lot more, cons I guess, consistent for lack of a better term, because each one of these little red dots, like on the other bots you see, are cells. So this bot is making money on each one of these cells. It's not as much as the DCA bots necessarily, but there's more of them, so they can add up quicker. And then when you log into the Bitscap account and you look at your portfolio, you can kind of see the available USD and USDC climbing on a regular basis, and it just gives you a little bit of warm and fuzzy. So anyway, that's the one pro to them. And like I said, the con is they can fall out of range easier. Another con is that they do take a lot more capital to get started to really make them worthwhile. Where the DCA bots are $1,000 you can start out with. I like to start my um, grid bots with 5 grand. So those may be out of the reach of a little bit more of more people, and may not be quite as desirable for most people. Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed this update here, and I guess I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to move forward with this channel. Probably just doing updates every so often instead of continually setting up the bots like I've done in the previous videos. I'm wanting to maybe come up with um, a course or something to help people because I know this is a little overwhelming to get started with something like this. So I'm thinking about possibly putting together some kind of uh, short course, and Bitscap actually offers um, you know training on the platform. So I don't know how much detail I need to actually get into, and then figure out how to incentivize people to get started with, not just get started with this, but to use my affiliate account, and then come up with some way to share the frequent bot settings with that small group of people that actually want to do this and get started with this and do it themselves. But anyway, I'm just talking out loud, and thanks for listening to me ramble. I got to get going. Wife has a radiation appointment, so that is one of the reasons my videos have been pretty sparse. We got a few more weeks of that. But anyway, she's doing good, and um, we will see you on the next one. All right, take care, guys.